So let's just be clear on one thing before we start. I am pumped about a second Independence Day movie. I'd imagine by now you've probably seen the trailer for Independence Day Resurgence, and if you're a dork like me, probably poked around that War of 1996 website that they made to coincide with the film. And while I'm all kinds of excited for this sequel coming 20 years after the original film, damn, that makes me feel old. There's a few glaring holes here to me, but between the trailer and the War of 1996 website, there's already a decent bit of the backstory of what's taken place in those 20 years that we can already gather. Before getting into the flaws with continuing the Independence Day story, it's important to know a few of the more crucial bullet points that the website and trailer have revealed. So let's run those down real quick. After humans were victorious in the original movie, an agency specifically aimed at preventing another alien invasion was created, with bases being built on both the moon and Mars with the goal of deflecting another alien attack. Cities and famous landmarks that were destroyed in the first attack have been rebuilt in their same original form. Technology from the wreckage of the alien ships has been used by the people of Earth to create better planes, better weapons, and presumably better means of space travel. Lastly, there was a large group of aliens who survived the human assault and are holed up in a remote part of Congo, and the local government there has actively disallowed the UN or whoever to come help eliminate them. There's been other things revealed as well, but thus far, none of the other things seem to conflict with either the story or common sense, so let's get into the main list. We always knew they'd come back. We see this line early in the trailer, but how did we know they would come back? How did we know there were even more of them? And why the hell would they come back? Granted, Earth suffered a few casualties, but the first time they came here, we lit them the hell up with our own ancient-ass technology, so now that we've taken massive leaps forward using their own technology too, why would they want a round two? Not to mention, they were using the same exact fighter planes against Earth in 1996 as the one that crashed in Roswell in 1947, so it doesn't seem like their technology was exactly rapidly improving over that span. Not to mention that we've come a long way from the Windows 95 that totally wrecked their entire shield network, so yeah, advantage humans. This is a spot where I worry that they're kind of crafting a cop-out with the website revealing that famous landmarks and cities were rebuilt as they were. As if parts of the second movie will be set in cities that we already saw blown up and they'll just be like, no, we just rebuilt it all like it was before, remember? I don't think anybody will appreciate that cop-out if they did go that route. I kind of doubt it, but it seems possible. Especially when you consider that so much of the appeal of the first Independence Day movie is that it's as good as any movie ever in the department of mass destruction, wiping out billions of people. But now all the real world locations that people are familiar with were already blown the hell away 20 years ago. And I just have a tough time imagining that people will get all that excited about seeing fictional cities end up being the ones destroyed. Now, this one ties in somewhat as a critique of the first movie, but it's stated in the trailer and on the website that humans began harnessing the power of the alien technologies several years after the War of 1996. But let's not forget that 49 years before the aliens invaded, one of their own ships crashed and was stored at Area 51 all that while. You had their technology and did nothing with it. Yet suddenly, just a few years after the War of 1996, we're able to do everything with it? Why it took almost all of human civilization being wiped out for you to finally make the effort to utilize their technology? I do not know, but that was a bad call. Thanks, Obama. Another big oops by the humans is the bit from the website where they mentioned that a large group of the invading aliens survived the final assault from the first movie and were holding out in a remote area of Congo. When assistance was offered to the local government in the area to wipe out the rest of them, that assistance was apparently, and I quote, met with aggressive refusal. Does it even need to be said how insanely dumb it would be to not do anything about this? I'm sure that little bit of backstory is what's going to lead to this clip from the trailer where it seems like an alien outpost has essentially been created. But like, come on, militaries of planet Earth. You gotta be on top of that shit. Drone strikes, long-range missiles, do whatever you gotta do. Last thing on this list goes back to the initial notion of the aliens coming back, but more so the notion of there even being more of them. You know that scene in the first movie at Area 51 when the alien they captured gets into the head of President Whitmore before everyone shoots it to death? Right after that, the president said, and I quote, "I saw his thoughts. I saw what they're planning to do. They're like locusts. They're moving from planet to planet. Their whole civilization." Keywords there being their whole civilization. That was all of them. We killed them. Whatever alien outpost they set up, they shouldn't have had anyone to talk to. So yeah, seems safe to say that whatever backstory there is for this sequel, it will not be airtight. At the end of the day, none of this is going to stop me from being excited about this movie. I think the first Independence Day film is one of the all-time great movies to just cram popcorn in your mouth and watch aliens blow us the hell up like we love to see for some reason. And despite the handful of flaws with the first film in the series, at the end of the day, above everything else, it was just fun, and I see no reason to think that the second film in the series wouldn't be more of the same. But that is all just my thoughts on this trailer and a few of the flaws that I've seen with the Independence Day franchise thus far. Again, I'm excited about it, but I want to know what you think about it, so obviously do the whole comment, like, subscribe, hit me up on Twitter, and above all else, everybody, thanks so much for watching.